This is Erica with Launching Legacies. Welcome to our daily devotional. Today we are finishing devotional series where we're inspired by Oswald Chambers and Purpose Driven Life. That would be not Oswald Chambers and The Utmost for His Highest. I'm not going to do a devotional series from him, but one inspired by his devotional. So although I can't reference him really anymore, I want to encourage you all to get that devotional book and read it definitely on your own time. Today, though, I'm going to talk about a reminder of the golden rule. So if you don't know the golden rule, then that's fine because we're going to talk about it today. But if you are familiar with it, you may be thinking, oh, I know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That is the golden rule. And actually, it is a scripture, not just a rule. It's found in Matthew 7, verse 12. And I'll read it from the New Century Version. And it says, very straightforward, do to others what you want them to do to you. This is the meaning of the law of Moses and the teaching of the prophets. So it's actually verbatim, one of the things that we actually do get right when we quote it. Do to others what you would have them do to you. So what does it mean and why am I talking about it today? Well, you all know, if you've watched me for a while, that I'm a counselor and I work with a lot of families in distress, a lot of relationships that are broken. I go in when things are not going well usually. And then I also coach people who might be better than in a terrible situation, but usually need some guidance and instruction. However, despite I have been doing this work as a lay minister since 2007, and despite my years of doing work like this, I'm still not amazed. I still am amazed. Sorry. I'm still am amazed that of the things that I see and the way I see people treat one another. And the golden rule seems to be something we need to be reminded of. And so after a long week for me and looking at different relationships and different dynamics, I want to bring this rule back to the table. And I want to encourage us all to think of it as something that we operate in daily. We need to be treating others the way we want to be treated. Most often, in doing this work, I see people holding a standard for other people higher than they hold the standard for themselves. And as soon as their emotions get engaged, they find themselves behaving in ways that are completely inappropriate, completely unreasonable and unyielding. And it's a shame, because if we were to just stop, let the emotions dissipate and work through what it would be like to be in someone else's shoes, someone else's having that experience that they're having, then we would be so much better to one another, right? Our love would be more genuine, more transparent. It would be more giving. We would be more understanding. We would be able to walk with people on a longer journey. But when we forget that if we were in that situation, we wouldn't want to be treated a specific kind of way. When we walk away from that understanding that there should be a standard, and that standard should be based upon what God has set, but then also what we know we wouldn't want to experience in a negative way. If we know how to be loving towards people, we ought to be loving towards people. And so some people would say, well, I don't know how to be loving. I don't know how to be loving towards people, and I don't know how to be loving towards myself. And I can understand that, but I wouldn't excuse it, right? My suggestion in those places would be, well, if you know what you don't like, don't do that to people, right? If you don't know how to act, that's reasonable. But if you know what you wouldn't like, that's a good starting place to say, let's not engage in this type of behavior. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like to be bombarded. I wouldn't like to be overruled. I wouldn't like to be this or that. We usually go into a place in which we start to explain ourselves away. Well, but I've always wanted, but I would never behave that way. So it wouldn't even be, and then we have a whole bunch of excuses as to why we behave in ways that we do. But it all gets back to Matthew 7:12, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This rule is so big that he says, look, that's the bigness of the law of Moses, which is huge, okay? Which was the foundation for the whole nation of Israel. He said, look, it's wrapped up in one sentence, really. Do to them what you want them to do to you. And if you don't want it, don't do it. That's a great starting place. No matter how well we are, how unwell we are, where we are, or who we are, we can recognize that if we don't want it, we shouldn't be doing it to other people. And if we struggle with that, we probably need to take some time and think about why it's such a difficult thing to treat people the way we want to be treated. I want to encourage you. We are praying for you. We hope that you're praying for Launching Legacies because we want your prayers. We need your prayers. And we hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, continuing to remember to do to others what you would have them do to you. Until Monday, be blessed.